All right, Based in the Woods fans, here we go. We got the camera on top. We got the 4K engaged. And we got 24 frames for that cinematic fluidity. We got the Crocs off. We got the boots on, and we got a brand new selfie stick here, which we're gonna try to put this thing in without messing it up. I just had some honey lemon ginseng tea. Let's turn this car off. Here we go. I told you we'd do number 2. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. Look at this thing. Isn't this a thing of beauty? Look at this. This is a pretty sturdy one too. As I say that and it falls over. So let's see. I need to keep the camera on top here. Let's see if I can get it in there without turning the video off. So on the bottom, we'll do it right there. Pull this up. Looks pretty good. It's still going. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Let's crack it down a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's close the car. Gotta do that. Got my glasses case. I'm one of those people that like checks everything like 15 times. Got it. Just make sure the back's locked. It's not. See, this is why you check it. It's locked. There's my little go outside sticker I got from the dollar store. These are locked, and we're ready to go. We are based in the woods now. There's 2 things I need. Look at this. My goodness. Oh man. We already got beauty. Now, even though I checked every door, I still like to hear the noise. There we go. Oh man, I'm just gonna show you this. Pull it back a little bit. Ooh, it's so pretty. We didn't get to sit on this bench last time, so let's go sit on it. Try it out. There's our bridge. That guy's meditating over there. It's pretty cool. It's a good day to meditate. Oh man, this is wonderful. Oh. I got a tripod now. I can do it flat. Pull it back a little bit. Isn't that gorgeous? We're out here. That guy's meditating over there. It's really cool. It's so beautiful here. Yeah, even if you hate everything I have to say about politics, I still think you can appreciate how pretty this is. That's my idea, at least. Let me get this guy meditating. Can't really see him. I don't think he'd mind. I love it. All right, let's get the walk in, everybody. Now, Antonio, I promised you, you're the only person giving me money on buymeacoffee.com/Tyler McConnell. And that's the only plug we're going to do in this whole video. But you gave me 2 tips, and they were both very good tips. One was, stand up straight, McConnell. I'm 35. I have faced this problem since I remember in 4th grade, I remember Tracy Brakefield told me to stand up straight. Thank you, Tracy. I was 10. It's been 25 years. I'm still working with it. I did hear, back in my awkward 20-something days, Neil Strauss told me, and then after I read the game, Hard Times, that I should pretend there's a string right here pulling up my head, and then kind of let the rest of your body just like relax around that. you know. We're not gonna win anyone to communism with bad posture. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I love it. Oh my goodness. I kind of like the idea of doing some just straight down the middle of a trail. Last time I did a lot of stuff on the side, but I think it's nice to see the trail. So I'm gonna do it like this. And here's what I promised you. All right, so one of these, I'm gonna do some push-ups. And then the next one, I'm gonna do some setups. Anthony, I don't think I can do push-ups on all of them. We'll work up to it. But I'll do squats on every other one, okay? Hopefully this thing don't fall over. Let's see if I can put it like right there. Yeah, maybe that'll work. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but I'm gonna try. And I'm gonna take these glasses off. Might clean this lens real quick. I got one. Should have done that before, but oh well. Alright. So, we're going to do 10 push-ups. And on the next one, we'll do 10 not setups. I tried that once and my back hurts so bad. We'll do 10 squats. Alright? Alright. Here you go, Anthony. This is for you, buddy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew. Gotta get fit for the revolution. All right. Oh. Boy, the crazy lady with the stick will really like me today. She'll really like me today, I think. Don't you? All right, we got bridge number 2. I'm doing squats on these ones. All right. Let's get a minute. I like to go all the way. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, Anthony, I'm earning that $5 this month, baby. I love it. Whew. I'm looking forward to the stretches without a bridge so I can get my mind together about what to talk about. You know? Oh. It is kind of nice on the bridge. I can make sure the camera's still going. And I don't know. It's funny when you do these things. Before you take off out here, you're like, what am I going to talk about? The thing is, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It'll come to me or it won't. If I need to walk in silence for a while, and you can just observe the beautiful woods here for a while. That's pretty cool too, I think. That's pretty cool too. Well, what's going on in the news? We've got Dark Brandon making some serious moves. He gave that speech in front of the red 1984 Big Brother thing with the 2 silhouetted Marines in the background. And then not only the aesthetic was terrifying, but what he said was pretty terrifying as well. He said 78 million Americans are pretty much irredeemable extremists. I don't know if he's taken a page out of the Hillary Clinton deplorable book. Pretty little stream here. But whatever it is, it's something to think about. Okay, Anthony, 10 more, baby. 10 more for you, Anthony. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay. I like to think I have pretty good push-up form, but you know, who knows for sure. I definitely feel something working there. So there's that. Yeah, I think the push-ups are gonna make talking a lot more difficult. But squats not so much. I can get a good squat in all day long. Squats don't really bother me as much, but the push-ups, those are rough. Those are rough. I will say though, sometimes I like to take pictures right here. Pretty little spot. All right, squat time. Good posture, Anthony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. Whew. I haven't done squats in a while. We're based in the woods, so I gotta say one thing that's like totally based. And to say it based, you can't apologize for it, right? So here we go. I'll come clear with you guys. And you can be assured this sort of talk is the kind of talk that makes me not really afraid of ever being canceled, because anything they try to cancel me for, I probably told you about back when I had 200 subscribers. Okay? So here's the thing. I just had quite the surgery on my behind, a hemorrhoidectomy. That is right. That is base. Hold your applause. I am presently wearing a diaper for men, and I'm still out here doing it. I've healed up enough to get about, have fun, but we had to snip that out of there. It was getting a little messy down there, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Thank you, Dr. Voigt. I will say, when I got it done, I thought it would be relatively painless. I guess if they're inside, it's not so bad, but if they're, you know, the other way, he set me down. He's like, this is really gonna hurt, man. And I was like, you know, it's pain leaving the body. What could it be? A couple weeks? I'll be back to teaching school, no problem. Well, he was right. Whew. He was right. It is tough for a few days. It's a 6 week recovery. It is a serious surgery. Nobody really has pity for a surgery like that. Like, you know, if you have cancer, a tumor, that's things people be like, oh, something like that no one really cares about, but it is painful. The weirdest part of it for me was I had muscle spasms down there. The old muscle down there goes, and you go, whoa. I would just scream randomly during the day. Disgusting conversation with beautiful views. That should be the tagline for my channel. Disgusting conversation, beautiful views. And a little bit of workout in. Push-ups in a diaper, baby. You can't get this anywhere else. I didn't see this on YouTube, so just creating what I wanted to see. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch that chest on the last one. Whew. Anthony. I think I'm just gonna do it on the first go round. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the way back. Maybe once we get to like Base in the Woods 50, I'll have worked up to both ways. But I'll probably do one Base in the Woods. I don't know if I'll do it every week, because now that I'm teaching school and I work at Walmart Pharmacy on the weekend, so I'm working like 6-7 days a week. And I'm gonna work on Labor Day tomorrow. I'm gonna make it short about that. There's nothing more American than a school teacher working at Walmart on Labor Day. That is distinctly American. I think the only thing more American is to put that money in the stock market, because there's absolutely no hope for any sort of solid financial freedom outside of this, in this neoliberal capitalist economy. So there you go. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. And I am thankful for the opportunity to do it. You know, it's okay. It's all right. I'm kind of redeeming for my sins a little bit. I did really, really well on paper in 2021, and by doing everything in the trading books that they tell you to do, the wise old traders, they all know. Ride your winners, excuse me, cut your losers quickly. You know, trade the system, don't use margin. Ooh, look at this. Cool. Nice. But the first time you lose, you go a little crazy, and one thing leads to another. So I learned a lot. The biggest lesson I learned is that I will never give up, no matter what happens. I mean, a great story, a rags to riches story, that's the best American story. An even better story, I think, though, is a rags to rags back to riches story. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do, play boys and play girls. And we're gonna use that money to build a beautiful new world. A new world. Yep. That's what we're gonna do. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people. A dictatorship of the proletariat, of the everyday average citizen. And then, if someone wants to do crazy stuff like I did, they can go to Shenzhen or wherever. Go to the special economic zone. But it won't be like that everywhere, you know. In my first stream yesterday I did, based at home, #1, I talked to Sam, and he shared some thoughts from Haas. Haas called it the, what did he call it? I think it was the cross streams theory. Like, in America as a whole is like a totalitarian, kind of right-wing, well, authoritarian right-wing country. And then we have special, like, little pockets of, you know, like liberal anarchism, like the Chaz, right? You can go there if you want to go to the Chaz and poop in a bag. You're welcome to do that. You can do that. I was gonna say we got to keep it based, right? Unless, if I remember correctly, unless you're black, you might get shot at the Chaz. That did happen, if I remember correctly. Check my facts on that. But in China, it's just the opposite. It's a dictatorship of the proletariat, a left-wing authoritarian government, and there's pockets of just crazy free market capitalism. If you want to go and make the money, and they encourage that, they set it up that way. So there's a place. If you want to play the market, you've got your place in China, but you will not, you know, you're not going to have any Jackson, Mississippi's, Jacksonville, Jackson, wherever it is, where the water doesn't work this week. I heard Richard Wolff say something like 4 million Americans right now without running water. So for my international audience, That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Kind of counteracts the big American everything's awesome idea. It's awesome if you're the 4 million at the top. It's not so awesome if you're the 4 million without running water. So that's what we got to change in this country. There should be no one without running water. That is insanity. In what many call the richest country in the history of the world. Those riches are not spread out. You know, that's a criticism leveled at communism by like 8th graders. You just want everybody to have exactly the same amount of money? No. I would be cool with some people having 100 times as much, but not 1,000,000 times as much. You know, no 500 billionaires while an entire, largely black American city doesn't have running water. You know, and they'll do it to poor whites. Absolutely. Go to Appalachia. Go to Appalachia and take a look at what Sackler Pharmaceuticals has done. Have fun with that. I'm interested to see how long this selfie stick stays awesome. Like the little hinge there is kind of tilted. I wonder how long it'll stay nice and taut. But for what it costs, I can get another one. Thank you, Chinese, for building this quality selfie stick and this iPhone and probably all the clothes I'm wearing. And yet Americans want to demonize you for some reason while we walk around using everything that you make for us. It's almost kind of legitimately racist if you think about it. For some reason, the liberals are cool with anti-China racism, or especially anti-Russian racism. That's really popular these days. You know, we shouldn't be racist unless you hate a Russian, and then you have our full unwavering support and $50+ billion in the military budget. So as Julian Assange said, you know, we can use the government to money launder our own profits. I'm trying to think of Pelosi going to Taiwan. What did she, was it her son that was into silicon chip manufacturing, I believe? Could that play a role in her decision? Nah. I'm sure she just wants freedom and democracy for the brave people of Taiwan. The Taiwan stuff is hilarious if you know like the history of like Mao or Chinese Revolution. It just becomes incredibly goofy. All right, here we go, Antonio. I'm getting squats in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one's tough because we got another bridge like immediately right here. Bridges just don't stop here for a second. I can get down low and you can see, really watch me here. Really watch me get in some push-ups, all right? Here we go, I need 10. Look ahead. Oh, let's get it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Touch the chest. 10. Woo. Woo. Antonio, you earning your money today, brother. We got to be fit for the revolution. You are correct. All right, let's tilt this beast back a little bit. Pull it out. Whip it out. Whip it out. All right, there we go. Still recording? Oh, yeah. We're good. Somebody just shot either a firework or a gun. In rural Missouri, both are equally likely. Kind of sound like a shotgun though. I will say, you city slicking liberals that have never shot a shotgun, you have not lived. You have not lived. I don't know exactly how Europe works. I don't know if you can shoot guns in Europe or not. I know Europe has a long history of like killing foxes and stuff if you're rich. I think even, I don't know if old Ingalls had a soft spot for that or not. I'm sure he went out a time or two. Oh, the beautiful sunshine. I think I might have missed the pine trees doing one of these. You guys will have to remind me next time. Fix it. What did we do last time? Did we do squat? We did push-ups. Yeah. I'm losing track of how many I've done. I have to go back and count. Yeah. So we're back in school, teaching school. I've got 5 classes this year. Last year I had 2. And there's a lot of holdovers from the COVID era. They all want us to use Google Classroom. And it's kind of been like an unspoken agreement that we're still supposed to use it after COVID's more or less over. It's not over. I mean, I work at the pharmacy. People literally come in with COVID every day, and they're so over COVID that they just don't want to hear about it. The pharmacists will be like, you got to get out of here. You can't be in here with COVID. And we had this old man yesterday. He said, well, I got 4 of your shots and I still got COVID. So why'd I even get them for? I'm like, yes, sir, you need to go outside. So took him his medicine outside, and he's supposed to leave his window rolled up and we leave it on the hood is how it's supposed to happen. They're all rolling down their windows at this point. And he pointed to the sign and he said, what's that sign say, son? I said, it says stay in your car. He's like, yeah, you want me to get out of my car? Oh, look at this. Oh my God, it's beautiful. He made a good point. You know? Even to be totally based, I just threw up my hands. I said, sir, I'm just doing what they tell me to do, which is, I believe, also what the Nazis said. That was my second thought. But there's still something weird. The programming is deep, you know? Even if you know, even if you think it's mostly horse shit, it still gets you. God, this is pretty. If you know someone actively has COVID and you're gonna go visit your 89-year-old grandfather later that day, you kind of don't want to, like, give him a kiss. Maybe. I think we're on squat time here. Maybe I'll do some squats. Oh, let's hold it. I'll hold it out. Straight out. Here we go, Antonio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's so pretty. Let's let you look up there for a second. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so like heavily wooded back here. I love it. We're going slow today. That is beautiful. This selfie stick really does make it way easier to hold this phone. Way easier. Because you just kind of like hold it down here and it doesn't bother you as bad. Holding it by hand, that was tough because your arm was just like out like this the whole time. Oh, I just saw a cardinal fly right by. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I'm also glad I didn't use the AirPods. The microphone on those beasts is not good. It is not a good microphone. Starting to break sweat. My brother's coming to visit. He's got a new girlfriend. Evidently things are going well. I'm really excited for him for that. My brother, I don't know how much info he'd want me to put out there, but my brother absolutely changed his life. Just 180 degrees. He had some problems. Things got tough. He turned it around, man. Went back to college, got his degree in counseling. He is excellent. He lost 100 pounds. Did keto religiously, every other day fasting. An absolute inspiration. Absolute inspiration. There was a period there we were worried about him. And maybe we shouldn't have been. Or maybe God answers prayers. I think definitely he does. Dave, if you see this, you got to send me a message, Dave. We got to do our podcast. Putting stuff out there now. Get my posture right, Antonio. Get it right. String up. There we go. Oh boy. You just keep coming, man. They just keep coming. Did we squats last time? So we got to do push-ups this time? Ooh. Okay. Okay, push-ups. Push-ups, push-ups. All right. I think I've either done 40 or 50 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Touch the chest. 10. You happy, Antonio? I love you, brother. I do them anyway, man. I just like to give you a shout out because I love you. Because I love you. Oh, beautiful nature. All right. Alex Christiagu. I didn't say that right. My wife don't even let me say her middle name. She's Hmong. I say it's, I better not even say it. I try to say it. Spelled M-E-K-A-S-I-A-B. But the English alphabet's not perfect for the Hmong language, so she says white people can't say it. And I told her I'm Irish, I'm not really white, but she says that doesn't work. So, Mekasayab. How you like that, honey? She's gonna shut the video off now. That's for you, YouTube. Okay. Bridge. Slippery when wet. Get your mind out of the gutter, YouTube. Let's do some squats. Let's look at this beautiful piece over here while we do it. What's the best way to do this? Maybe touch the plastic. Yeah, okay, let's do some squats. All right, Anthony, I'm gonna hold you way up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Actually, I kind of like it once it's in the little clippy there. So you don't really have to worry about hitting the buttons as long as you just touch the clippy. Probably okay. That might have been my last bridge, Antonio. I'm kind of excited to put this little tripod out and give me a better handle to hold on to down here. Anyway, yeah, the Google Classroom, you gotta keep that up to date, and they want it to be kind of a record of your assignments, so kids can look at that and know what they should do. But that was a holdover from COVID. Like before 2020, we never did that. If you didn't show up to class, you didn't know what you did. And you had to hope we'd tell you. And it was way less work, because that Google Classroom, when you got 5 classes, that's like an extra hour of work every day. It really is. So I'm kind of at the point where I just, whatever's on the board, I slap it on there and go about my day. you know. The longer you teach, the more you realize, like, yeah, I'm in charge, and, you know, just keep me happy, and you get an A, and we'll go from there. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe I'll teach you something. Is this poison ivy? What do you think? Poison oak? Ivy's 3 leaves. I don't know. Ugh. Be glad when I get used to this selfie stick. It still feels kind of weird. I'll tell you what, until I get to the big bridge, I'm gonna switch this to the regular camera. Let's see what that looks like when I look back. Today we're doing 24 frames a second, which they say is more cinematic. You want to see a middle-aged man sweat in a white t-shirt. You want to make damn sure that's cinematic. You know, you want this on the big screen. You know, you don't want to miss a moment. This hat, I think I talked about it yesterday. My dad got me this hat. Pretty cool. Evidently it's really, of course everyone will say that, but it says it's the oldest whiskey distillery in Ireland. McConnell whiskey. I feel like everyone with an Irish name also has a company that says the exact same thing. Jameson, McNulty's, whatever. I think that's the guy from The Wire, but close enough. Ooh, someone fell in love here. Proposal. Oh. So yeah, more Dark Brandon. Dark Brandon is obviously just setting up the country to be cool with demonizing a good third of the population. Maybe more than that. So he can list them as terrorists and go after them. I think the FBI was well on their way to do that in the 1990s. Ruby Ridge, Waco, as Haas calls it, wacko. They were getting ready. And they had a brief detour with the Islamic peoples. Thank you, Islamic people. You served your role for American imperialism beautifully. You got to take some heat off the poor whites for a good 20 years, but we're back. It's always the poor whites. At the end of the day, we're the ones in the middle of the country, armed to the teeth. You know, got to keep a close eye on us. I just love that they're going after Trump supporters, like literally grandpas. Like they're calling both of my grandpas terrorists at this point, which is pretty cute. It's pretty cute. All right, I'm about to walk back by the pretty part of the lake. I don't think you can see the selfie stick. No, you're good. I'm gonna go back to the wide angle lens and Base in the Woods 3. I think we will do 60 frames, which 60 frames is cool. I like it for the audiobooks I've been doing. For some reason, maybe it's psychosomatic, but I just feel like the extra frames make it a little easier on the eyes to look at. I think probably technically YouTube is filling in all those frames, so it's probably just in my head. And I should probably just stay at 24 frames and render it quicker. But 60 frames in real life, I like the motion blur. I kind of like it. Oh man, my favorite part, coming out of the woods into this beautiful part. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love it. This is the part I go down to and breathe out. We got some Mario mushrooms today. Look at that. Some Marios. Yeah. Very cool. So my favorite part. We'll do some different hikes too. We'll do Devil's Well. I think I'm gonna take the kids to camp at Alley Spring here in a few weeks. Molly's got a birthday coming up. She's gonna be the big 5. This is we meditate, count to 5, count our out breaths to 11. That's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're back at it. Back at it, children. I did all the bridges, Antonio, so I am putting this tripod down. If I can figure out how to do it, push it in, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh, now I got a handle. Ha! Beautiful. This bridge is beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. I wrote an article when I worked on the paper, on the history of this lake. My good friend, Dr. Ted Ziske, his daughter Sarah was my chemistry teacher in high school. Some good stories there. She thought I was good at chemistry, and honestly I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured out her system of grading, so I was able to do okay. She asked me to go to a chemistry competition once, and I was like, I can't, I don't even know what's going on in here. She's like, well, you got the highest grade. Oh, yeah. Anyway, her dad was a dentist. He was the only dentist in 5 counties here in Dent County, Missouri. And he'd tell stories about when he was a kid. They used to catch frogs in Spring Creek that ran through the middle of town, and he would sell them like at a lemonade stand, except it was I guess a frog leg stand. He's like a real-time like country doctor. He had some great stories. I guess he struggled with alcoholism in the middle of his life, and got straight, went to AA. One of the funniest people. It reminded me of Mark Twain. Reminded me of a real life Mark Twain here in Sam. We got a lot of good characters. One of the most fun places to go is go out to McDonald's, and you can hang out with the old men, listen to them talk politics. They don't like any of you politicians, not a single one. And they haven't ever since I've been alive. Ever since Grandpa took me to the Walnut Bowl. You have not been popular. I remember last time I walked here, I was talking about the great books of the Western world. I wanted to read through them. I need to get on those audiobooks. I feel like that is the most value I can add to YouTube. There's a ton of great old books out there that don't have a quality audiobook, and I can feel myself getting caught up on the technicals of making it, like what frame rate I should render it in, you know. I don't care about any of that, really. Like when I listen to an audiobook on Master Key Society, or even I listened to one, I think it was by Bootsy Greenwood. His channel's Blue Collar Mystics. He read the Reality Transurfing book, and he was obviously just reading it on his free time. It was a great audiobook, but it wasn't, you know, professionally done. There were certain parts he'd stumble over a word here or there, and you know, it wasn't edited with the actual book or I still want to do that, but I'm just saying that, like, I really enjoyed that. It's got a ton of views, and more so than the views, it's a book I wanted to read, and I didn't have time to read a 700-page book on mysticism, so Bootsy read it to me, and I appreciate that for you, Bootsy. I want to do that for other people, okay? That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Almost got the super long selfie stick. It went out like 60 inches. It's still in my save for later box, but this one seemed like it'd be fine, especially with the wide angle lens on this beast. It'll be fine. I feel most of my audience is from the CPI, so I should focus on politics, but at the same time, this is just a brain dump for me. If you want to walk around with me and do some brain dumps, cool. If you don't, I think most of you watch 8 minutes of this video. You did last time, and that's fine. This is mostly just for me. I told myself I would do this. I'm going to keep doing it. And everyone I talked to was like, oh, McConnell, your head runs so hot. It's good for you to go out there and dump some of that crap on people. Oh, man. Someone. This is fun. This is going to be a fun part of the stream. I'm pretty sure I saw a dog up here. It did not appear to be on a leash. So hopefully it'll be friendly. Hopefully somebody calls it back. One of the two. If not, you guys can watch me get mauled on camera. Be good for views. And that sun, it's shining through the clouds. Is beautiful, ain't it? Oh, I love it. All right, here we go. We're gonna walk up through somebody, so I'm gonna put this down and be quiet as we go by. Hi, puppy. Hi. Hello. How are you? Hi. Is he friendly? He's not friendly, huh? Okay. Well, he went by. He's not yours, huh? Man.
I got a hole out of the back of it, bust him upside his head, and he took off.
Good. That's probably why he ran off there.
So he ain't mine.
He had some big old balls on him. Somebody needs to cut him off. Good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. I was wondering if he'd still be down here. It was like 2 days ago I was down there.
He's still around, huh? I got this key. I'll stab him in the eye if I need to. Take it easy. Oh. You're gonna get PETA against me on stream number 2. I ain't getting mauled by no dog though, brother. We keeping it based. We keeping it based. It's a pit bull, brown pit bull. I don't know if we got him on camera, but I hope I don't get him on camera again. I don't understand these people, dude. I guess maybe they're country people. Just letting your dog run around off the leash. But a lot of the time, I would carry some like dog spray, some black pepper spray. But I'm gonna have to get some more after that. It's freaky. You just want to come out and get a good hike in, and then, you know, situations like that. I understand why people pack the heat. If you like your calf muscles. I don't, it's fun working in Walmart. Like every other person in rural America is armed in Walmart. Everyone has a little holder right here. And you can't tell if it's a gun or a cell phone. And half the time it's a Glock 9, the other half is a cell phone. You just like to know which one it is, or I do. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. One more less set on the bench. We'll count to 11. Oh, there we go. Let's just put it right like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, maybe we should invest in that, you know, is it Springfield 1911? Ronin? Got my eye on it, man. Try to go for the all-American boy look. There's no all-American boy look better than the 1911 pistol. And that Ronin 5-inch, beautiful pistol. Beautiful. And it kind of freaks me out to carry one around, but it's legal under the law. And on my free time, why not? You're in America. You're in the Wild West, baby. You might as well use every freedom you got. Somebody has a gun and they're more likely to get hurt. Shut up. Shut up. Go back to day school. Oh, the teenagers are having a time. Look at this. Look at this. Mean old words. Looks like a breakup happened of some sort. Well, we'll leave that souvenir there. Oh my goodness, there's plates everywhere. Someone went through a breakup and came out here and just let it all go. Well, these are the children I teach. So we could just hang out and try to put it back together. Me, anything that takes school. There's something about school. Another F word. Another F word. A girl wrote this on a Better Homes and Gardens plate. Another F word? My goodness. My goodness. I told the children I would keep this PG-13. That is no longer PG-13. It is now R-rated. I didn't say any of that though. I just saw it on the ground. You know? Goodness. Goodness, children. Somebody went through a tough time. I'm trying to figure out, like, why would you write that on a plate? Why on a plate? So you could go, so they could break it? Real satisfying, like? Look at this grass. Look at this. Put you down here. This is what I'm dealing with. I'm gonna get chiggers here. Ooh. Oh well. Probably need to take a shower when I get home anyway. Oh, yeah, everybody wants the politics. Dark Brandon. Fascism coming. I do find it interesting that MAGA communists are sort of becoming a thing. I mean, it's kind of funny to me. Because MAGA is like one of my older grandfatherly like MAGA friends said they're worried about a false flag, like the FBI is gonna rig up something like they did with the poor Islamic boys that are troubled and give them some more reason to crack down because this neoliberal state is rapidly crumbling into fascism, and can't let people vote. I mean, I'll tell you, where I live, if there is not just an absolute red wave in November, something is fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. I mean, they all talk about respecting elections, and then they screamed about Russiagate for what, 5 years at the top of their lungs? Did they respect Trump's election? Absolutely not. One of the most amazing things to me was like they would meme about like Donald Trump being gay with Vladimir Putin, and well, how is that woke? I mean, they call him gay like it was a bad thing, and then I don't think they have any real principles other than the status quo. They just like things the way they are, you know. We're about halfway there. We can get past this dog on the way back. Be a success. Another success. Based in the woods too. Once we get the pistol, we gotta be based in the woods, locked and loaded edition. That would be funny. That would be funny. Did my first live stream last night. I don't know if you guys caught it. A lot of it was totally unlistenable. I'm sorry about that. I had a $500 microphone that I didn't have turned on for half of it. And then I have some unbalanced XLR cables, and usually they do okay, but I was hearing some like electric pop when Sam was talking, and I don't know if that was on his end or my end, but I think it might have been on mine, and I want to go back through and make sure that nothing of it is on mine. I can get a 50-foot Cat 8 cable to string to my router for like $25, so I'm definitely going to do that. And Logitech has a pretty awesome webcam with like the front light for like 170. So I think for maybe like $300 we can get really good live stream action going. And I figured out after I did it, like the real appeal of live stream is to watch the chat and interact with the chat. When you watch a live stream and don't do one, you can't really see that. You kind of get this feeling like, why are they talking to the chat all the time? What is up with that? You know, just say what you gotta say. But if you just wanted to say things, you'd make a video. You wouldn't live stream. You know, we're about at the 1 hour mark. Starting to loosen up, get going. So, trying to think of what audiobook I want to do. I said I would do Jesus, so I did Jesus the Man and His Work. I think a New Christ by Wallace Wattles, I said I would do that one. I think I just need to do that one to keep my word, keep going, and then I'll do Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. I'm getting so addicted to this YouTube thing. I love it. I mean, it's a good addiction. I heard someone say, if you want to make money on YouTube, you just develop, what do you say? Develop a smartphone addiction, but don't consume content, just make it. And there'll always be awesome content I like to consume. But I think there's something to making it too. You know, if you're halfway decent at it. I think I'm halfway decent at it. There's a lot out there worse than me with 500,000 subscribers, so always keep that in mind. And more power to them. Way to go. I realize most of this is just being consistent. You know, like if I'd done this every day since I first wanted to do it in like 2015, I'm sure I'd have 100,000 already as well. But I probably just wasn't ready for it yet. You know, everything in God's perfect time. Everything in God's perfect time. Everything. The older I get, the more I realize, I don't know, in your 20s, for me, you kind of feel young and invulnerable. 30s, it's not so much about your mortality, I don't think, as it is you just, you know, it's just pragmatism, you know, like the old William James, John Dewey, that strong American philosophical tradition. Does it help my life? And for me, belief in God helps my life. I leave all the dogma doesn't help me aside, and I just focus on what does. Believing that God will provide. If I have faith, believing I have a bigger reason for being here. Believing I'm not just a walking brain machine destined for doom. I don't know how that serves you. It doesn't serve me. I don't get anything out of it. It makes me want to crawl in a hole and die. I guess Nietzsche tried to spin it like, no, that means you should be whatever, blah, blah, blah. Not for me. I'd rather be that with God behind me, you know? I don't want it all on my shoulders. I'm not afraid to make a move for a better world, but I like to think something beyond me will conspire to help me. Why not? Whether it's real or not, what's it hurt? What's it hurt to think that way? I hope you guys are liking the selfie stick. I hope the 24 frames is looking good. It takes forever to upload these videos on YouTube. And then it takes, if I remember correctly, it took like 5 or 6 days for the 4K to render on YouTube, for the processing. I don't know if I'll wait that long. I might. Just film number 3 while I post number 2. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, I think it's all consistency, you know. It is interesting, the internals of YouTube. Like if you're trying to get to the point where you can like monetize your channel, you need 1,000 subscribers, and you need, if I remember correctly, I can't remember how many hours of public view time. I can't remember if it's 1,000 hours or like 4,000 hours, 2,000 hours, something like that. But you don't get public view time for shorts, and I've mostly been making shorts just because they're easy, and my ADD brain kind of works that way. I kind of think in punchlines, like 15-second satirical punchlines, and I'm very grateful to you, Google, the Don't Be Evil Google, for pushing my shorts in the algorithm, because it has absolutely nothing to do with me. I've noticed some of them will get 8 views, some will get 8,000 views, and I really don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it, other than like titles with like 5 words seem to do really well. It's kind of gross, but if you capitalize the important word, it seems to do better. If you put an exclamation point, it seems to do better. And I'm not against playing the game. For the shorts, it's mainly just propaganda. I'm just spreading the message, you know, so whatever gets it out there. Building the channel, and then once it's built, educating people through the audiobooks and the live streams and the Based in the Woods, where I talk about whatever's going on in my life, my thoughts on politics that week. Feels kind of like the calm before the storm right now with politics in America. Maybe I could touch briefly on my friend Caleb Maupin. I don't have my support Caleb Maupin hat, but I love you, Caleb, and I'll talk for like 5 minutes. I won't give any details of what's going on, but I will say, and Caleb said publicly, that Caleb will be back. Sorry, haters. You ain't gonna cancel the great teacher of American communism. He will not go away that easily. Caleb has taught me more than anyone else on the internet, and he helped me and blossom as a young girl here on YouTube. I wouldn't be making these videos if I hadn't went to that Kansas conference, and Caleb might have a weird quirk or two. Don't we all? And don't you dare act like if they didn't find your secret and blast it on the internet that people wouldn't come after you too. I think it's a specific tactic of the Democratic Party to dig into any social group, find some scandalous sex stuff, post it all over the internet, which, first of all, any group has that in it because we're human beings. And second, you post that anywhere. In America, a country founded by Puritans, yeah, people are gonna be, oh, you did it to Assange, okay? You tried to do it to Nader. Nader was too squeaky clean, but you tried, okay? You tried to do it to Jimmy Dore, you know. The thing with Caleb is all the cult stuff is bullshit. I'm really kind of suspect of the Witness 1 and 2 and their stories. One seems like an ankle-biting social climber. The other, well, it says in the article, I'm pretty sure, was, I think, on heroin and selling her body for money, which the liberals will be like, that's just classic everyday work. But let me just tell you, in middle America, well, they didn't, that wasn't a career option in the Baptist church I was raised in. So, a little sus of anything you have to say. You know. What's the old saying? Photos are didn't happen. How much dirt you got, CIA? Anyway. Like I said in the stream last night, for me, I just want you to plan it. You know? You gotta go all out for me. I don't think I got enough good stuff for you. So you're gonna have to make up some stuff like you did with Assange. What was it? You don't feed his cat. He smears feces on the walls. That couldn't have anything to do with him publishing the Iraq war logs, could it? Or Hillary's emails or anything like that? I'm sure that was all just quinky dink. Put your thinking caps on, people. Wake up, America, your government. Nope. Go back to sleep, America. Your government is in control. Everything is above board. Nothing is suspect. Just watch The Voice and American Idol and the show with the 3 X's at the top. America's Got Talent. After that, flip on Chicago Fire. Listen to an Alan Jackson record, who I will defend Alan Jackson to the death. I like Alan Jackson. I heard, I had a English professor, Dr. Blake. I mentioned you in the last stream, Dr. Blake. You'll probably never watch this, but he said once that country music, and he meant modern country music. It's like the most hipster thing you can say is that you only like alternative country music, which I used to say because I was a hipster douchebag, but you hopefully grow out of that. Anyway, he said country music is the music of the American proletariat, the American working class. He's absolutely right. And if you can't enjoy way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. If you can't enjoy that down by the river on a Friday night, talking about cars and dreaming about women, never had a plane, just living for the minute, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, never knew how much money water meant to me, but I learned how to swim and I learned who it was. A lot about living and a little about love. A lot about living and a little about love. I mean, if you can't enjoy that, get out of my face. I'm keeping this PG-13. Get out of my face. I want to say things on the plate over there, you know what I mean? Let's make sure we're recording. Oh yeah. We got some Alan Jackson quality. There's another one by Tim McGraw, I remember. It came on the radio when I was like 4 years old. Back on East First Street. I went back to that street and I had no idea like how small of a place I was raised in. It felt so big when I was little. I went back there, but I remember being in the Sintmans' backyard. The Sintmans are one's, I can't remember. I think one's a highway patrolman. Can't remember what Justin does. He might work at the mine. I can't remember. Anyway, we were in their backyard. We used to dig holes for fun. We have to poop outside, and we hid some toilet paper out there because if I went inside, Grandma would make me do workbooks, which I appreciate you for, Grandma Shirley. I need to go visit your grave and put some flowers on there. But she'd make me do workbooks, and it is true, by the time I got to kindergarten, I'd done like all the workbooks to like 3rd grade. So I had this giant head start, and school was really fun for the first 4 years because I didn't do anything. I'm bouncing all over the place. I will say this though, my 2nd grade teacher, that's a weird kind of mushroom. Look at that. Huh. Upside down mushroom. Mrs. Craig, she was cool. Craigs are a powerful, nice family in town. She's one of the Craigs. Can't remember if she was born one or married into it. Look at this. But they asked me what I wanted for Christmas. And I said I wanted a T-1000, which my dad had been watching Terminator 2 with me. And she told me that the T-1000 did not exist and I should ask for a real toy. Which really hurt my feelings because the T-1000 is a real toy. Okay. She told me it wasn't. But the next year, she did recommend I be in the gifted program. And the gifted program as a kid was a blast. I thought we just went in there to waste time when I was a kid, but now I understand. They just put you in Montessori school for the day, where they were like, what do you want to do today, Tyler? And I was like, I want to design Spider-Man's web and swing from buildings. And they're like, okay. I don't remember what we did after that, but I think I'd just like draw it and think about it. They'd let me play with computers. They had some old Macs that were really awesome. There was this one game with like a axe, and you'd like hack the other dude with an axe. I wish I knew the name of it. It's one of those things from your youth. You don't know exactly how to Google, and it's really kind of obscure, you know, so what do you do? But yeah, The Simpsons. I was in the backyard, and a song came on the radio. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing. He was 8 years old. Something, something fishing pole. People come out here and throw their natty light. Come on, people. Why you gotta throw the natty in the woods, huh? Let's keep it beautiful. Something about the girl, don't take the girl, it's fishing. And then it's like, a few more years down the road. Now they're like going to prom or whatever. Man came and pulled a gun. Something, something. And then Johnny says, take my money, take my wallet, take my credit cards. Boom, boom, boom. Take something, take the watch that my grandpa gave me. Take the keys to my car, mister, give it a whirl. But please don't take the girl. Man, I was like 5. I was like, oh, this makes me want to cry. Don't take the girl. Oh. Then she's like dying at the end in the hospital bed. He's begged. He gets down on his knees and Johnny prayed. Take something, something. I don't remember. But the last verse hits hard because she's about to die in the hospital bed. I don't know. But if you don't like that song, you are not in the American working class. You are bougie. Why don't you go listen to The Strokes or something, hipster? You ain't gonna build. You're not gonna build. I'm gonna say a PG-13. You ain't gonna build shit. How's that for based, hipster? Brooklyn hipster douchebag. I don't know. For some reason, people from Brooklyn really get under my rural Missouri skin. Shouldn't speak ill of the dead, Michael Brooks. So we'll just say your name. Sam Cedar. Chapo Trap House. I actually like Felix. And I like Matt okay. Felix is my favorite. But they're both from the Midwest. What's the other one that's not? His dad was like a New Yorker writer or whatever. He's the one that put it together. His like grandpa was in the Communist Party. I don't know. In one episode they were like, yeah, you'd be stupid not to think we are CIA. And I kind of think you are. Will was his name. Will something. I think he's dating like Trad Kath or something. I don't know if he still is. But Will brought them all together, brought them to New York to do the Chapo. But I will say, if I learned one thing from Chapo, it's that you can have real crappy, first episode. For sure. I think the first 3 episodes were so shitty, the quality, that you couldn't even listen to them. But they got it together as time went on. I don't know if that was a ruse or for real. But I will take that from it, that I should not be worried about my initial bad quality. Just keep going, and eventually, if your quality's as good as Chapo's, which I don't think it takes a whole lot of effort to do that. Just need to make some Metal Gear Solid jokes and read really boring New Yorker editorials and make lewd jokes about them. And then I too, if everything's above board, should bring in about $1 million a month on Patreon. Right? Or is that a front? I don't know. Doesn't matter. On to the next one. I like to sing a little country music. We're on the last leg of the tour here. Going back home. A lot of photosynthesis going on out here. I think it'll be fun to do Based in the Woods when it's snowing. You guys will be able to like look through 100 of these here in a couple years, and I want to watch one in the snow. Let's see what McConnell's doing in the snow. You know? It's pretty fun. I'm excited to see my brother. He lives a couple hours away, and excited to see him here in a minute. Eat some of Mama's cooking across town. It's one of the best things about moving back home is you get to eat Mama's cooking, you know. I'm a big boy, got my own family. We live across town, but it's nice to live in the same city as your parents if you get along with your parents. I was blessed with a incredible mother, one of my best friends, and my parents are divorced, but my dad also lives in town. I love to go visit him. I got my dad's dad here, Grandpa Duke. He just turned 89 last week. He was born in 33, I believe, right in the FDR era. Grandpa loves to tell me he used to work 100-hour weeks, and we had a funny like man conversation because the operation I got, both of them had gotten it because it's like genetic and runs in the family, so they were like comforting me. And Grandpa's like, yeah, I got that. I had to drive a gas truck. Oh, I was working 100-hour weeks, son, back in the 60s. And he showed me his 40th birthday. Someone had baked him a cake that looked shaped like a propane tank. And Grandpa doesn't know who Hank Hill is. Probably need to go over there and show him a little Dale Gribble, little Hank Hill. I need to @ you on Twitter, Mr. Dale Gribble. You are fantastic, sir. I love what you're doing. You are doing God's work, Mr. Dale Gribble. Dale's, of course, my father's character, and I think when me and Dave start doing our weekly talks, we're gonna bring our 2 dads in, who are 2 of the funniest people you will ever meet, and they are both will probably instantly get us canceled because the word based is not strong enough for these 2 gentlemen by any estimation. My dad just sits at home mainly. Tell you a little bit of his history. A little history about my dad. My dad was in the Amax mining strike in the 80s. And when I finished my thesis for my master's degree, that's That's what I want to ride it on, is how the strike failed. But when they broke that strike, they broke my dad. I don't think he was ever really the same after that. But he'd tell me stories. They blocked off the highway. Back in Viburnum and Boss, they would shoot at the helicopters that were flying in scabs, and my dad didn't, but he knew people that did. And after that, he just kind of did odd jobs. He did preaching for a while, really liked that. And yeah. After my parents' divorce, he worked in a prison. He was a drug and alcohol counselor, and then when they split up, he was working on a prison, death row on lithium. And he watched his fellow CO get shanked to death. She was a 40-something mother of 2. And he asked for mental leave, and he told him he couldn't have it. So he kind of lost it. He got one last church position down in Louisiana, and they got mad at him because he was getting too many black babies in the nursery. So it's kind of interesting. Now my dad, after my own heart, his next revival, the congregation did not know that his girlfriend was black, and he brought her church choir to do the music at the small Louisiana rural racist church. And he has it on video, him stomping up and down the aisles yelling about hypocrisy. And he was let go the next week, and then he moved in with me while I was in grad school. And I'd never been more proud to give my dad a hand after that. But it did not do wonders for my educational career. Taking care of dad became number one, and kind of realized looking back, I mean, it was my own problem. I'm not blaming anybody else, but that is a kind of thing I feel like a working class kid would deal with. A lot of the people in the program with me were children of professors, and their parents weren't going to move in with them. So, but they also I don't think they had nearly as interesting of a life as I had. So it's all relative. Anyway, dad lives in town. I work to help him get on mental disability, which is not easy. Anyone that acts like you just like send a letter in the mail and then you get on it, no. You get denied. You have to wait like a year and a half. You got to fill out like 66 pages of paperwork, then hope and pray. You get a lawyer. Luckily, he got in front of a good judge and heard my dad's story, and he apologized to my dad on the behalf of the state of Missouri and stamped his papers, and he now lives in disabled housing across town, which is great for him because he would be on the street otherwise, or living in his car. So my mom, she works for the local housing authority. Sweetest lady ever. Takes care of little old people. I get that from her. I love the little old people at the pharmacy. They're sweeties. So all day long, I either work with little old people or incredibly angsty, sarcastic teenagers. Actually, the teenagers, Gen Z's not that sarcastic. I don't think. Their brains seem sort of like smooth from the internet. They're pretty passive, which maybe that's what the World Economic Forum wants from them. But just like the rest of us, they just constantly want to get back on the internet. So I'm playing my part in that right now. So I love them. I told one of my old favorite teachers, we work together. He's the librarian now, but I was like, this generation. And one of his kids is in my class, and he's like, Tyler, they've been saying that about every generation forever. Us Gen Xers said it about you millennials, so it's like, true enough. I really like these Based in the Woods because I think we are at, where am I at now? 1:30 almost. And you just kind of let loose by this point. I don't really have a filter. It's free associating. Humanizing American socialism. Socialism with American characteristics. Through the eyes of a rural Missouri boy, Tyler McConnell. That's the angle of this channel. How did I go from hoping George Bush would win re-election in 2004, being completely apolitical, just believing what the media said, to being an open and avowed supporter of Mao Zedong within 20 years. A lot of disappointments with a lot of politicians. That's how. I made a short about it. I'll talk about that on my way back. Why not? So, yeah, 2004, I was just trying to get into cool things. I had a cool friend, Swayze and Sheely. They're both really into movies, and they had, we're watching a lot of HBO documentaries, and I remember they turned me on to Sacha Baron Cohen, Ali G, and then they started turning me on to like some Chomsky stuff. Somebody showed me The Corporation, and then I went down a documentary rabbit hole. Started watching docs on Waco. My friend Cody showed me Bill Hicks, and that changed my life. Sheely, I remember, showed me George Carlin's final special, and that changed my life. And I always say Bill Hicks, next to Jesus Christ, was probably the most influential person on me. If it weren't for Bill, I don't think you'd have Jimmy Dore. You wouldn't have me. You wouldn't have Lee Camp. But I think the culture would be a lot different. Like, Bill, to me, is a great example of just giving it your all, even if you die at 34. If you put a couple good albums out, it'll change comedy. But, so yeah, I was swimming around in that. I still didn't really understand politics, but I was starting to feel like I did. I was at College of the Ozarks, an incredibly conservative place. My trajectory is very similar to Max Blumenthal's. I'd love to have dinner with Max. I think we'd have some great conversations, but I was very much against like the neocons at that time. I felt like I'd been duped by Bush, and the documentary Fog of War came out, and I was watching some documentary on Iraq war, just seeing we were being lied to, you know. It was very in the American zeitgeist about that time, 2007. And then Obama came out of nowhere, and Obama seemed like the great hope, man. He sounded like FDR, you know, looked like Jay-Z, hung out with Jay-Z. He's just a great speaker. I went to see him speak in Rolla. He came to Rolla. They actually renamed a street after him, which now makes me want to vomit. But I got into Taibbi after that. Taibbi really kind of summed up my disappointment in Barack Obama. He bailed out Wall Street. As Michael Hudson says, he told Wall Street, "I stand between you and the pitchforks," with his plastic shiny smile and his, you know, gotta stay based. Obama was an Uncle Tom. He was. You sold me out. I voted for you. You can watch a video of me debating for you. You sold me out. You sold all of America out. You kicked 5 million people out of their homes. You stabbed Bernie in the back. Well, let's get to that. Obama put me to sleep like everybody else. I remember 2012 came around. I was growing up. I was more interested in doing 20-year-old boy stuff or making music or whatever. Going to the bar, and 2012 came and went. I remember when Sandy Hook happened. I remember getting in an argument with one of my lib professor friends about that. And she wanted to ban guns. I remember we were at Steak and Shake one night, and I said, "Do you think the Americans would have won the Revolutionary War without guns?" And that really pissed her off. She really didn't want to go into that at all. It's just funny to me. Our class differences eventually kicked in. She quit talking to me altogether. We were friends for a while. I don't know what happened. But I won't name her by name. That'd be kind of mean. Anyway, After 2012, after grad school, I'd taken on quite a large amount of student debt. Kind of willingly did it to radicalize myself. It's weird to say, but I felt like I deserved to go to graduate school. Sharp enough. Wanted to go. I needed a little bit more education. I missed the college experience, the classroom experience, so I went. So I'd figure it out on the other end. And it certainly did. I mean, entering into possibly a life of debt slavery at the age of 24. It'll change your, was I 26? I don't know, doesn't really matter. It'll change your look at politics. And it was in the Zeitgeist. I remember about 2014, I was like, I really don't think college should cost anything, really. I mean, if you're making the grade and, you know, you're improving society. So I Googled, remember I got on R Socialism and started reading that, and the first thing I found was Richard Wolff. I started watching some Richard Wolff lectures, and it made a lot of sense to me. He was blowing my mind left and right. His idea of co-ops, like the idea that if you work a job, you should have a vote at your job, or otherwise you're a slave. You're a wage slave. That was big for me. Made a lot of sense. So I started really going down this like anarchist route. I guess I've heard Wolff most described as like, what's her name? Rosa Luxemburg, kind of a Marxist. I think he worked under Paul Sweeney, maybe. Maybe I got that right. Oh, he worked under, what's his name? The French guy that strangled his wife. I can't remember. But, it's not a good way to describe him, but if you strangle your wife, you're gonna be slightly remembered for that. Althusser. I really like Althusser's ideas. Before he went nuts, had some great ideas. But, anyway, I got super into Wolff. 2015, super into Bernie. Bernie was the answer. Bernie was gonna fix it. Bernie was gonna give us social democracy. It was damn time. And WikiLeaks came out. I remember distinctly the night the DNC leaks came out. I was at my friend's. I was the best man in his wedding. It was the summer of 2015, I think. And the DNC leaks hashtag was being shadow banned on Twitter. It was the biggest thing happening on the internet, and it was not on Twitter at all. And that further radicalized me. It was obvious what we were up against. Anyway, they stabbed Bernie in the back, and so between 2016 and 2020, it was obvious the ruling elite were not going to let us have social democracy in America. We were not going to. But, you know, I was still listening to Chapo at the time, and I decided it would further radicalize me to give Bernie one last giant heave-ho in 2020. And we did. I think we won the first 3 states. We swept in Arizona, I believe it was, and I remember the night after that, it was, we were gonna do it, we were gonna win, and then who comes back from the dead? But old Obama. Mr. Kill the NBA strike Obama. Mr. Uncle Tom for the ruling class Obama. Yep. You made some phone calls, didn't you? And you killed Bernie's chance in 2020. And you gave us Dark Brandon, who's now threatening to more or less kill 100 million Americans. Because if you're in the, what is it, the 49% of America, you're an extremist. Fun. Fun. I hope Martha's Vineyard is... I saw a meme about your house. You're Mr. Africans can't have development. Well, the Chinese are giving you one of these about that, aren't they? You don't want Africans to develop because of global warming. Meanwhile, you live in some 10-bedroom house in Martha's Vineyard, right on the sea level. Now, if you believe in global warming, why are you living on the sea level, Obama? I think you're full of shit. That's what I think. You and AOC and Ilhan Omar and everybody else who's repeating the history of the SPD in Germany. You all shoot Rosa and throw her in the river. Well, I think you can put two and two together how I got where I am today. The only way they're ever going to let us have a real democracy in this country, and MAGA and the commies are coming together now. The real Marxist-Leninists, anybody who puts the interests of the everyday American people, the everyday working class Americans, ahead of the globalist elites, will be demonized, won't we? And will eventually be targeted for elimination. But that's a two-way street, baby. That's a two-way street. The working class in the world will not go out without a fight. Unfortunately, George Soros, unfortunately for you, this cobweb's putting up a fight. I don't know. I guess people say, since I said Uncle Tom, I'm a racist. If you say Uncle Tom, that makes you racist. I don't really care. It's based in the woods, okay? How could I be a racist if I voted for you and fully supported you? You know? It doesn't make any sense, but that's the weapons you wokes use. You can dismiss people that way, you know? But you knew it. You knew you were standing between the pitchforks. I think Martha's Vineyard is at sea level, isn't it? I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Europe's gonna get crazy. Europe. It's very amazing to me that Europe is more or less repeating the 1930s. I'm sure what's going on in Germany. I saw a video today on Garland Nixon's live stream that they had blocked like a major street in Germany with tractors. So I gotta remind myself that Europe's just like America, you know, like when you think about Europe, outside of Europe, you think like Europe is like Paris, London, and Berlin. But as Mao said, the countryside surrounds the cities. There's a lot of Europeans that live in a little podunk town in the middle of nowhere, just like I do in America. And there's a lot more of us than there are them, aren't they? So solidarity with my rural European brothers. I hope you make a lot of trouble for this globalist elite that wants to kill 6 billion of us. Keep causing them trouble. You are the working class and you make the wealth. Don't forget it. Thank the Chinese for this selfie stick. Now, how racist is that? I don't think it's very racist. I love the Chinese. If I could go anywhere, I had to fill out a thing on a survey at school the other day, and they said if you could go to any country to visit, where would you go? And I wrote China, and I honestly do. I think it is mind-boggling that we don't have entire academic departments just going to China and figuring out how they run their economy and their political system. And we should have an entire TV station dedicated to teaching Americans how that works. And the fact that we don't, all we get in America is just like, the Chinese are evil, they watch everything everyone does all the time. What do you think this device does? You dumb. Ugh. What do you think this does? What do you think this does? Same thing, except they hide it from you. In China, they're honest about it. They tell you up front what's going on. Here, you get James Clapper in front of Congress. He goes, oh no, we never spy on American citizens, not wittingly. And then that pisses off Edward Snowden, and he hits download and hops on a plane and goes to Hong Kong, I believe, China. Meets up with old Glenn Greenwald and shows what our National Security Agency really does to its own citizens. I don't understand how the law works at that point. I mean, all these cases, John Kiriakou, what's the Hale guy, Assange, like, they're trying to get Trump with it now with the Espionage Act, Eugene Debs. It's just the Constitution seems to just go out the window. Like, once again, at least the Chinese are honest about it. You're in a dictatorship of the proletariat. You pissed off the party of the people. You're done. You know? But I don't see many common everyday Chinese executed. They mainly reserve that for the corrupt party officials, you know? Or Jack Ma disappears for a good 6 months and comes back with his mind right. Wouldn't that be beautiful if Joe Biden did that to Bill Gates? But the entire concept of that is laughable. How about Donald Trump does it to Bill Gates? I bet y'all'd like to see that. I bet that'd win Trumpy Bear some accolades. Well, here's that beautiful forest here. Antonio has a special place of hatred in his heart for, what's her name? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The perfect representation of South America, right, Antonio? Doesn't she just represent like the everyday person living in a favela? Pretty funny. Enjoy these pine trees. Enjoy them. Based in the woods, baby. Based in the woods. Gotta loosen up as the streams keep going. I gotta loosen up. Still holding back a little bit. And that is not based. But, you know, I'm not bringing in $5,000 a month yet like Haas. We're still working at Walmart, folks. We're still teaching school. You know, once I got $5,000 a month, yeah, we'll let the F words fly. But economic realities constrain behavior. Do they really? I mean, you can nail yourself to the cross, but you don't want to be an idiot. There's a difference between being courageous and being a damn idiot. Look at these mushrooms. Those are cool. Upside down. Beautiful. Get a nice down shot of them. I like those. Anyway. Oh. I think I will. I don't like to have this like on the hard drive and not put it out. So I think before I let it render, I don't know. I think I might hold it back. I never say anything on here that I won't stand behind, you know. What I said about Obama is the least of his worries in a just world. You have nothing to worry about, but that's the liberal culture you're in. Cancel culture. I say cancel away, you know? Like I told you in the first one, I'll work at the liquor store. Cancel away, mother effers. Cancel away. God will provide. God provides for the birds of the field, but you gotta sing. Right now I'm singing for you, YouTube. I'm singing for you. Let me tell you some of my favorite comments on base number 1 in the woods. I think I got one from Ecuador, one from the UK. I think there was one from Sweden. Antonio, wherever you're at, you globe-trotter you. It meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. I think you got an acre of diamonds right where you're at, you know. Some people might like to see what a poor hillbilly in the middle of nowhere thinks about American politics. Especially when they find out he's a communist. How in the world is that? How did that happen? Well, largely through trying to be like Jesus. You try to be like Jesus and take care of the poor. And you have eyes that are open to see how the state and power works in the modern world, you too will probably become a pinko commie bastard as well, as my dad likes to call me. Love you, Dad. Cold War joggled a lot of people's heads. I love some boomers will write on my shorts. They'll be like, "Is this kid for real? What happened to America? This has to be a joke." And I love that. In the past, I'd be scared of that. I'm like, oh, whatever. Who cares? You know, some grandpa's got to make a comment in Vermont. I get it. Wherever you're at. Retirement home in Arizona. I get it. It's all good. Got to do the mind dump. Brain dump. You know? That's how it's got to go. I'm ready for dinner. Look at this big tree that fell over. Isn't that kind of interesting? See the roots of it? It's kind of crazy. Well, Base in the Woods 2 is about in the bag, baby. I don't even remember what all we talked about. If I had time and I didn't have to go eat dinner with my mom and my brother, usually just to spite that old lady that was hateful, I'll take a second walk around the lake and listen to what I recorded. If I wasn't recording this stream, what would I be listening to? I would probably either be listening to Alexander Dugin's Fourth Political Theory. In the past, I'd listen to a bunch of anarcho-syndicalist books out here. I listened to State and Revolution out here. I listened to all kinds of books out here. So I eventually felt like I had something to say. Old Dugan, God bless you, Dugan. I love in the Fourth Political Theory, there's this line, he says, the liberals don't believe in God, but we do. So we won't concern ourselves with what they think. And that was a baseline, Mr. Dugan. God help you, sir. God be with you, with your daughter. I'm serious. You'll never see this. But you're on my heart, sir. It shouldn't have happened to you. And you're fighting the good fight. We're gonna win this thing, okay? The good people of the world will win. What is my vision for the future? It is Russia, China, and America, the working classes, getting along, living in peace, building the Larouchian World Land Bridge, and leaving imperialism and militarism in the dust forever. No more war, living in peace, making money, and exploring the stars together, as Bill Hicks said at the end of his talk. But with Uncle Toms like Obama, that's gonna be difficult. Where is the Fred Hamptons, huh? I love Fred Hampton. I would die next to Fred Hampton's side, Obama. So does that make me a racist? You liberals. We gotta stand up to this cancel culture BS, man. It is bullshit. How's that for based? Still PG-13. We're just chilling. Yeah, I'd be listening to that, or I'd be listening to Garland Nixon's latest stream. I sport Caleb Maupin hat. His latest stream on what's going to happen in Europe and how they're going to try to freeze Europe out. The elite. He read an article from Michael Hudson that was written in, I think, February 7th, about way before the Ukraine invasion, February 24th, about how Europe was America's real enemy and its independence had to be taken care of by stoking war with Russia. Boy, Trotsky's godson sure is putting that economic learning to use, ain't he? Somebody that's first gig is looking up every footnote in Marx's Capital Volume 3. Really seems to have a good foundation for what's going on. The guy that wrote Super Imperialism and the security state liked it so much that they invited him to work with them. You explained it. You explained it, Hudson. We can use the dollar as the world's reserve currency, petrodollar. People need petrodollars to buy oil. What are they going to do with those dollars? They're going to buy U.S. government bonds, and they can finance the U.S. military to come over and screw with them all day long. Until they get a little full of themselves after the fall of the Soviet Union and they do some stupid shit like Iraq. Kill 1 million people and radicalize young white Irish boys in the rural Missouri. Love y'all. Man, this is gorgeous right here. Check it out. Oh man. Isn't that pretty? Base in the woods. We're looking at coming up on 2 hours. Coming up on 2. I don't know if the 1X camera like looks better. I really like the wide angle though. I like to get lots of it in there, you know what I mean? It's so pretty. I like this place a lot. These 2 bridges. And that's about it. Let's put me back on. We about did it. We didn't see that mean dog. It's a great thing. God will provide for the birds of the field. If you have courage, take a step in the right direction. Call out Obama for being a 2-timing jackass. All right. And Trump, you ain't off either. You should have pardoned Julian Assange, but you have opened up the only place, as Haas said, for a real American working class movement. Before Trump, the FBI would just assassinate all us Marxists and nobody gave a shit because they still had hamburgers and Ford F-150s. But now they've showed their hand and they're going after Grandpa. And now Grandpa's gonna realize that we are on his side. Because they're gonna go after both of us. Grandpa. So thank you, Trumpy Bear. Appreciate you for that. Ooh. Should we get one more set in at this bench over here? Maybe count to 11. Do a little numerology. The age of Jesus Christ. Nah. We got some people here. We'll do that next time. They're not there. Maybe I will walk over there. Take a little picture before we finish up. My posture, Antonio, my posture. All right. Here we go. Isn't it pretty? There's the bridge. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's it. I think we did it. I like these little picnic benches over here. They're pretty cool too. But we're almost done. Posture, Antonio, posture. Remember posture? We did the pull-ups. We did the squats. So, we're about out of this beast, baby. Base in the Woods number 2 complete. Old Biddy. Shouldn't say a mean name about her, but she was kind of a bitch. You didn't stop us, baby. But we won't talk to you next time. we'll just zoom in on you. All right? I don't like to get people on camera unless they want to be. But, you know, put the 2 bits on. The Duran does it. It don't bother me. They tell you go to locals.com. buymeacoffee.com/Tyler McConnell. If you want to give me $5, if you don't, that's cool too. I still love you. Woo, boop, 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 boop. We made it, y'all. Let me see if I can get this baby out of here. And we'll sit down. I gotta put the Crocs back on here in a minute. And then I will go eat dinner and hang out with my brother. But I love y'all. And I'll see you for Based in the Woods number 3. We'll do that one at 60 frames per second. And we might go hike somewhere different. Maybe not, though. 9 out of times I hike here. And anytime I hike somewhere different, it's like a rare treat. But we might go to Montauk. We might go to Devil's Well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll go to Merrimack Springs sometimes. Merrimack State Park. That is an amazing one. 10-mile hike. Council Bluffs, I think a 12-mile hike. I don't know if we'll record the whole thing, but maybe we will. I'm a completionist, so I love y'all, and I'll see you next time, all right? Did the whole trail.